Hi, so I'm Miss James, or as my students like to call me, the STEAM teacher. I am going to make my first video blog. I've never done this before, but some of the reason why I want to do it is because I've been taking a class in instructional technology applications, and I've been learning all of this great technology and learning how to expand my personal learning network and all kinds of really cool stuff. So I decided, well, I'm gonna venture out and try this whole new vlog idea. And one of my inspirations is actually Cassie Stevens, who, if you've ever seen her, you know that she is awesome. Like, she is one of the most engaging video bloggers I have ever met. Anyway, so the whole purpose for this is I kind of want to go over some of the things I learned from my instructional technology class. Our personal learning network is what we use to create our blogs and our Twitters, and it was really an awesome experience for me because I'm somebody who has always wanted a blog. I kind of dabbled in it a little bit in college, and then I got to experience all of these great other bloggers who are in my field. And being a STEAM teacher, as I've mentioned many times on my blog, if you've checked it out, I have no curriculum, I have no standards, I don't really know what I'm doing half the time, but I make some pretty cool lessons. So it's cool to see what other people have. Like, I have had so many people add me on Twitter or check me out, and it makes me feel really good. But I also love racking their brain and finding out what works for them, what they enjoy doing. We're talking to each other, and we're all over the nation. And I think that's what a personal learning network is all about, because you are connecting with each other and you're making the network. Anyway, moving on is our cool tools. In that network, you got to see what other people use. I got to make some. I've got to use Edpuzzle, which was awesome. I use it in my classroom all the time now. I've created it for blended learning, kind of. I've had students do it outside of my room, whether it's in their free time or at home, and then they come and they're in my class ready to learn, and we get the clay out because they watched the video on Slip and Score, or we are ready to build compost bins because we learned about compost bins in our free time. I still give them that opportunity to work on it in my room a little bit because I teach elementary school, so some of them don't always have the access or they're allowed. Some of them, their parents don't allow them to be on things like that unless it's at school. And it was really awesome to see my students be coming in ready to learn, excited because they did it outside the room, which I think is something that's really cool with blended learning, because then that's 15 minutes of my time that I didn't have to teach because they already knew it because I did it outside the classroom. And to me, that's pretty awesome. Now, another thing we learned about in our class were learning environments, which, if you've read some of my blog posts, you know that I've taken chairs away, I've went to a tab classroom, and so with all of that, it's all about the learning environment. And I've witnessed firsthand how my students will be really engaged when we change something, and they love being able to move and be comfortable, and it's helped them know, like, okay, I have more responsibilities because it's kind of a privilege to have this kind of learning environment. Or I have some kids on netbooks here in my tab classroom, and then I'll have some working on oil pastels or chalk, and it's all kind of chaotic from an outsider's perspective, but they're all working and they're all doing what they want to do. And so my quality of work I've seen has gone up so much. Their engagement has gone up so much. Like, details have become so awesome because kids want to do it. That my students are learning and they love it. And that's what you want as a teacher. And so learning environments can impact that. If you're just sitting there and you're just waiting and you're being in a lecture, and if that's not your learning style, which for me is definitely not, then you're not engaged, you're missing out. But hands-on, doing what you want, choosing, you have that responsibility as a student, and you're engaging in what you want to do. Now, our digital citizenship. So we need to remind students how to be safe online and how to be respectful of each other's work and of each other. In my room, I'm always on students. As soon as I hear someone say, oh, that's not as good as so and so, or that's not good, I'm like, no, that is not how we speak to each other in here. That has to be extended to the digital citizenship, into the digital classroom, because there's a lot more that can happen behind the scenes. So as a teacher, it's important that you let your students know, like, hey, this is unacceptable. You have to be respectful online, that it's not a place where you can hide. And I'm always on, especially in my Google Classroom. I'm looking at what students are doing. I'm able to see their comments, what they talk to one another. I'm always involved, especially if they're all on their own computers in here. I'll walk around, I'll check it out that way, or beyond that, I can look on my computer and see what every student is doing, and I can just stop it right there. Be like, look, this is, you should know, we went over the rules at the beginning. This is digital citizenship. We are respectful and we are on what we're supposed to. And another thing is, especially in my district, we have a lot of safety concerns. It's important that you use what you're allowed to in your district, and you check it out beforehand, because maybe your web browser won't let that, and now you've created this lesson and your students can't even do it because it's blocked. And so it's important to check that out ahead of time. And also, with using things online, you need to keep in mind with your copyrights and make sure you're not breaking laws with that. What I learned, especially in this class, is that as soon as I post something of my own, it's copyrighted, which I think is pretty neat. Now there's all these other laws that can go with it. You have your Creative Commons, which means it's still copyrighted, but there's some other things that will allow it to be shared with restrictions. So you have fair use, which you can have small quantities for education, which is pretty awesome. So there's all these different aspects of copyright that I didn't even know, which I think is so cool, because that means my students can create something online, and after they share it, it's theirs, and they can decide what they want to do with it, how they see fit. So I think that's a pretty cool thing about copyright, and how I And I think beyond that, I've really had a great experience in my instructional technologies class. I hope to keep my blog keep continuing, because like I said before, with the personal learning network, I had people contacting me all over the place about STEAM. I have other districts contacting me about curriculum, and like I said, I write my own. So that makes me feel really cool that I have been able to impact others, and I love that others are giving me ideas too, and that we can all work together to be one team and one brain together. So, well, this is my first video blog, and I hope you enjoy it, and hopefully I can give you more in the future. And if you like what you hear today, you can check out my blog. I'll give you the link down there. And you can also check me out on Twitter. So I'm excited to hear from you. And thank you.